10 things you must improve each day. Let me ask you a hard question. What if the reason you're stuck isn't because you lack opportunity, but because you're not improving? Every single day you either grow or you decay. There is no neutral ground in life. And here's the harsh truth. Your future is not waiting to be found. It is waiting to be built, one day at a time, through intentional daily improvement. If you're serious about success, fulfillment, and leaving a legacy, then this message is for you, because I'm going to walk you through the 10 things you must improve each and every day if you want your life to rise to the level of your dreams. Let's begin. Your mindset is the control center of your life. It's not just about thinking positively. It's about fundamentally reshaping the way you see yourself, your future, your problems, and your possibilities. Every outcome you experience begins in your mind. If you believe you're not worthy of success, not capable of change, or not meant for greatness, your behavior will mirror that belief. Your thoughts will limit your actions, and your actions will shape your reality. That's why improving your mindset is not optional, it's essential. A poor mindset will sabotage the best opportunities. A strong mindset will turn adversity into advantage. Each day, you must feed your mind the right fuel. Just as your body needs nutrition to function, your mind needs the nourishment of wisdom, vision, truth, and purpose. This means intentionally exposing yourself to books, teachings, conversations, and environments that stretch you beyond your comfort zone. It means challenging limiting beliefs that were passed down to you or born from failure. It means rewiring how you respond to setbacks, not as signs to stop, but as signals to grow. Most people don't realize they're living in a mental prison built from past pain, fear, or other people's opinions. The key to that prison is awareness. When you become aware of your thought patterns, you gain the power to change them. When you learn to think in alignment with your purpose, not your emotions, you become a force no obstacle can break. Your thoughts are seeds. If you plant negativity, self-doubt, and fear, you'll harvest stress, failure, and regret. But if you plant vision, hope, truth, and gratitude, you'll harvest courage, peace, and purpose. Improving your mindset daily isn't about perfection. It's about persistence. It's reminding yourself every single day that you are not your past. You are not your failures. You are not your fear. You are what you decide to become. And it starts with how you think. If you can change your mind, you can change your life. And if you change it every day, you'll change your destiny. Time is the most valuable asset you'll ever possess. Unlike money, you can't save it, earn more of it, or borrow it from someone else. Once a moment is gone, it's gone forever. Yet so many people treat time like it's infinite, wasting hours on distractions, delays, and things that offer no real return. The truth is, how you use your time each day is a direct reflection of how serious you are about your future. If you want to change your life, you must first change how you spend your time. Every day gives you the same 24 hours as the most successful people in the world. The difference is in how those hours are used. People who create meaningful progress are intentional. They prioritize purpose over pleasure, focus over frenzy, creation over consumption. They understand that every minute matters. They don't just react to life. They design their days according to what will move them closer to their vision. Improving your time usage means getting honest about your distractions. Social media scrolling, meaningless conversations, mindless entertainment. These things don't just take your time, they steal your potential. You don't have a time problem, you have a focus problem. And that focus problem is costing you your goals. When you start guarding your time the same way you guard your money, your entire life begins to shift. It also means learning to say no. No to things that don't align with your purpose. No to people who drain your energy. No to opportunities that distract from your priorities. Every yes is a no to something else. If you say yes to wasting time, you're saying no to growth. If you say yes to procrastination, you're saying no to progress. The way you use your time is either building your future or delaying it. If you want to live an extraordinary life, you have to stop living like you have endless tomorrows. Time is not waiting for you, but if you start valuing it today, it will reward you beyond anything you could imagine. Communication is not just a skill. It's a life-changing force that determines the quality of your relationships, the impact of your ideas, and the reach of your influence. Every opportunity you gain or lose often comes down to how effectively you can express yourself. Whether it's in a job interview, a conversation with your spouse, a business pitch, or a moment of conflict, your ability to communicate with clarity and confidence can either open doors or close them permanently. Improving this skill daily isn't just about becoming a better speaker. It's about becoming a better connector. You may have powerful thoughts, dreams, and solutions inside you, but if you can't articulate them clearly, they stay locked inside your mind. And the world doesn't respond to your intentions, it responds to your words, your presence, and your ability to make others feel understood. That's the heart of communication. Not just being heard, but making people feel seen and valued. Improving your communication starts with listening. Not just hearing words, but tuning into the emotions, concerns, and needs behind them. When you listen well, you speak with greater impact. You speak to what matters, and when you speak with intention. Cut the fluff. Be clear, be concise, be sincere. Practice the art of slowing down, choosing words that build, words that clarify, and words that move people toward understanding. Work on your tone. Work on your body language. Most of communication is nonverbal, and people remember how you made them feel more than what you said. Be present when you speak. Be mindful when you respond. Communication is not about winning, it's about connecting. It's not about proving your point, it's about making progress in the conversation. Each day, ask yourself, did I communicate with purpose? Did I leave people better than I found them? Did I speak from truth and listen with grace? Because when you master communication, you don't just improve your relationships, you elevate your entire life. Your voice becomes your power, and your words become a bridge to every breakthrough waiting for you. Discipline is the bridge between who you are now and who you are destined to become. It is the invisible thread that ties your goals to your actions, your dreams to your daily choices. Without discipline, even the most powerful vision will remain just a wish. But with discipline, consistency becomes your superpower and growth becomes inevitable. It is the quiet strength behind every great achievement, not motivation, not luck, but discipline. And the good news is, it's a habit you can strengthen every single day. Discipline starts with doing what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like doing it. It's waking up early when your body wants to stay in bed. It's choosing to read when it would be easier to scroll. It's committing to your goals when no one is watching, no one is clapping, and nothing feels exciting. Discipline doesn't ask for your feelings. It demands your obedience to your future. And the more you obey that future version of you, the faster you become it. Improving your discipline each day means becoming a master of the moment. Every day is made up of hundreds of small decisions. What you eat, how you speak, where you focus, when you rest, what you tolerate. These moments seem small, but they are the building blocks of your identity. Discipline is not about perfection, it's about direction. It's choosing again and again to align your actions with your purpose, not your impulses. Most people fail not because they lack talent or resources, but because they lack consistency. They get inspired, start fast, and quit early. But discipline is what makes you show up on the days when inspiration disappears. It's what makes your habits stick. And every time you choose discipline, you increase your self-respect. You tell your mind and your emotions that they do not control you. You control them. If you improve your discipline daily, you'll find that success stops being a mystery, it becomes a result. And your life stops being something you react to, it becomes something you shape. One disciplined choice at a time. Your attitude is your personal atmosphere. It colors every experience you have and every interaction you make. It's not just how you feel, it's how you carry yourself in the face of pressure, pain, or progress. A negative attitude turns challenges into complaints, while a positive attitude turns obstacles into opportunities. The way you show up mentally will shape how people respond to you, how doors open for you, and how far you go in life. That's why improving your attitude each day isn't optional, it's transformational. Life will not always give you what you expect, but your attitude will determine what you do with what you get. You don't control every event, but you do control your response. You can either be a victim of circumstances or the architect of your perspective. The truth is, most people are not held back by what happens to them. They are held back by how they think about what happens. A poor attitude makes everything feel heavier. A resilient attitude makes everything more manageable. Improving your attitude starts with gratitude. Gratitude shifts your focus from what's missing to what's present. It reminds you of what's working even when everything feels wrong. A grateful mind is a strong mind because it chooses to see what's right instead of being overwhelmed by what's wrong. When you train yourself to look for the lesson instead of the loss, the growth instead of the grief, you elevate your attitude and strengthen your character. Your attitude also influences your energy. People can feel it. They don't just hear your words, they sense your spirit. Are you uplifting or draining? Hopeful or hopeless? Encouraging or complaining? The energy you carry affects the environments you walk into. When you work on your attitude daily, you don't just change how you see the world, you change how the world sees you. Every day you wake up, you have a choice. Will I be reactive or proactive? Bitter or better? Discouraged or determined? The attitude you choose is the direction your day will go. And if you can master your attitude each day, your life will reflect the strength, peace, and confidence that few ever find. Your environment is shaping you far more than you realize. It is either fueling your growth or feeding your stagnation. The people you surround yourself with, the conversations you engage in, the content you consume, and even the spaces you spend your time in, all of it is influencing your mindset, your habits, and ultimately your destiny. If you want to rise to the next level of your life, you cannot ignore your environment. You must be intentional about designing it in a way that supports who you want to become. Too many people are trying to grow while remaining in toxic surroundings. They want peace, but they live in chaos. They want clarity, but they stay around confusion. They want progress, but they walk with people who are stuck in cycles of comfort and complaining. You cannot expect to evolve if your environment pulls you backward every time you take a step forward. You must understand this truth. Growth is not just about internal change, it's about external alignment. Improving your environment daily means asking tough questions. Who has access to my energy? What voices am I allowing into my head? Are my surroundings helping me stay focused or constantly distracting me? Begin to remove what drains you and replace it with what builds you. Sometimes that means letting go of unhealthy relationships. Other times it means organizing your physical space to reduce chaos and increase clarity. Even your digital environment, your phone, your social media, your online habits must reflect your values and vision. Greatness doesn't thrive in every environment. It requires order, encouragement, and inspiration. If you're always trying to motivate yourself in a place that constantly demotivates you, the fight becomes harder than it needs to be. But when your environment matches your vision, momentum becomes natural. You start flowing instead of forcing. Change your environment, and you'll change your patterns. Change your patterns, and you'll change your results. Create space that reminds you of your purpose, not your past. Surround yourself with voices that speak to your potential, not your pain. When you do, your environment will no longer hold you back. It will push you forward. Your mindset is the master key to your life. It controls how you interpret situations, how you handle challenges, and how far you believe you can go. Every breakthrough starts in the mind, and so does every breakdown. If your thoughts are limited, your actions will be small. If your beliefs are negative, your results will reflect that negativity. But when you decide to elevate your mindset daily, you unlock new levels of clarity, confidence, and power that influence everything else around you. You see, success is not just about strategy, it's about psychology. You can have all the tools, knowledge, and plans in the world, but if your mind is full of fear, self-doubt, excuses, or comparison, none of that will matter. A low mindset will sabotage a high potential. That's why it's not enough to think positively. You must train your mind intentionally, just like you train your body. If you don't, the world will shape your mindset for you through noise, pressure, and negativity. Improving your mindset daily means choosing thoughts that align with your goals, not your fears. It means questioning the narratives you've accepted and challenging the lies you've believed about yourself for too long. It means replacing "I can't" with "How can I?" and turning every failure into a lesson instead of a label. Your mind should be your ally, not your enemy. And that requires work, daily work. Read books that stretch your thinking. Listen to voices that speak life into your vision. Speak affirmations that retrain your internal dialogue. Practice mindfulness, reflection, and gratitude, not because they're trendy, but because they sharpen your mental clarity. Protect your mental space like your life depends on it, because in many ways it does. When you elevate your mindset, you elevate your decisions. When you elevate your decisions, you change your outcomes. And when you change your outcomes consistently, you transform your life. So don't just focus on external change. Start from within. Because once your mind believes it, your life will begin to reflect it. Time is the most valuable currency you have, yet it's also the one most people waste without even realizing it. You can lose money and earn it back, but once time is gone, it's gone forever. That's why learning to manage your time isn't just a productivity hack, it's a life-altering discipline. Each day gives you 24 hours, 1,440 minutes, 86,400 seconds. What you do with that time determines the quality of your life, the depth of your growth, and the speed of your success. The way you treat time reveals how seriously you take your future. When you waste time, you're not just delaying progress, you're stealing from your own potential. Time is the container for all your actions, decisions, and habits, and how you use it either builds your legacy or buries your purpose. Every moment matters. The small, seemingly unimportant choices, whether you scroll or study, whether you gossip or grow, compound into major life outcomes. That's why improving how you manage your time each day is not optional if you want to become great. Time management isn't about being busy, it's about being intentional. Many people confuse motion with progress. They fill their calendars, but not their purpose. They run all day, yet arrive nowhere. You must learn to prioritize what truly matters. Ask yourself daily, is what I'm doing moving me closer to my goals or further away? Am I spending my time or investing it? Guard your time like it's sacred. Eliminate distractions. Set boundaries. Say no without guilt. Give your best energy to what produces the greatest return. Learn to live with urgency, not panic, because urgency comes from purpose while panic comes from procrastination. You become what you consistently give your time to. So give it to your growth. Give it to your health. Give it to your calling. When you improve how you manage your time, you don't just get more done. You become more focused, more fulfilled, and more free. You start mastering your days, and eventually you master your life. Consistency is the secret ingredient that separates the dreamers from the achievers. It's easy to start strong with big ambitions, but what truly matters is your ability to keep going when the excitement fades and the hard work sets in. Most people quit before they reach their full potential because they can't maintain the momentum they initially had. Success isn't about a single burst of effort. It's about showing up day after day, even when the results aren't immediate, even when the path isn't clear, and even when the challenges seem insurmountable. It's your commitment to consistency that will ultimately carry you across the finish line. Improving consistency means choosing discipline over motivation. Motivation is fleeting. It's based on how you feel in the moment. But discipline, built through consistency, creates lasting results because it's rooted in your commitment, not your emotions. It's the difference between trying hard and working smart. Anyone can push hard when they're inspired, but the real strength comes when you continue pushing even when you don't feel like it. Think of consistency as the fuel for your progress. Every small action, every repeated effort builds momentum that becomes unstoppable over time. One day of effort doesn't lead to mastery. Neither does 1 week, 1 month, or even 1 year. It's the years of consistently doing the small things with focus and intent that compound into extraordinary success. It's about making habits that stick. Consistency means not waiting for the perfect moment or the right conditions. It's about taking action regardless of the circumstances. Your habits will either create your future or destroy it. When you consistently show up, no matter how small the progress seems, you're setting yourself up for exponential growth. Improvement doesn't always show up in leaps and bounds. Sometimes it's the steady, consistent effort over time that leads to the most remarkable transformations. Remember, the greatest achievements are never the result of a single effort. They are the culmination of countless small, consistent actions that over time turn the impossible into the possible. Consistency is the cornerstone of all lasting success. While motivation can ignite a spark, it's consistency that keeps the fire burning. In a world that celebrates instant gratification, it's easy to get distracted by the quick wins, the flashy results, and the viral moments that seem to promise success overnight. But true achievement doesn't happen in bursts of brilliance. It happens through the steady, unglamorous grind of doing the right thing over and over again, even when the world isn't watching. It's the ability to show up day after day, even when the results don't seem immediate, that separates the ones who succeed from the ones who fade away. Success is a marathon, not a sprint. You can't expect monumental results from sporadic effort. Just because you've had one great day or even one good week doesn't mean the battle is won. The real question is, can you continue when the initial excitement fades? When the challenges grow bigger and the rewards aren't as visible, will you still be willing to put in the work? The difference between someone who succeeds and someone who gives up is consistency. Consistency is the habit of committing to a task, to a goal, regardless of how you feel in the moment or the speed at which things are progressing. The key to consistency is discipline, not motivation. Motivation is a temporary feeling that comes and goes. It's the reason why some people start strong but don't finish. On the other hand, discipline is the daily decision to show up, even when your enthusiasm wanes or the distractions seem too tempting. It's about creating a system of habits that align with your goals. And the more you show up, the stronger that discipline becomes, eventually turning into a way of life. Consistency doesn't always feel dramatic. Progress is often subtle, and sometimes it seems like nothing is happening at all. But just because you can't see the results immediately doesn't mean they're not building behind the scenes. Each small, consistent action is like adding a brick to a wall. At first, the wall might seem low, and progress might feel slow. But with each brick you lay, you're getting closer to something great. Over time, these seemingly small efforts compound, and the results will speak for themselves. It's like planting seeds. At first, there's no visible growth. But as you nurture them consistently, they begin to bloom. The reality is that most people fail not because they lack the ability to succeed, but because they lack the consistency to keep going. They give up too soon, when success is often just one more step away. It's the consistent effort, the quiet determination to keep pushing, even in the face of adversity, that leads to the breakthrough. Consistency is not just a key to success. It is success itself. Built brick by brick, day after day, in the face of obstacles, setbacks, and fatigue. When you embrace consistency, you begin to unlock the door to your fullest potential. Self-discipline is the bridge between your goals and your accomplishments. It's easy to talk about what you want to achieve, to dream about the person you want to become. But without the daily discipline to take consistent action, these dreams remain just that, dreams. Success, whether personal or professional, is built on the foundation of self. It's not about avoiding temptation for a short period, but rather building habits that keep you moving forward even when it's difficult, inconvenient, or uncomfortable. Discipline allows you to make the right decisions when your emotions or circumstances would otherwise lead you astray. Improving self-discipline starts with understanding that it's not an inherent trait. It's a skill. Like any skill, it can be developed and strengthened over time, but this requires a level of commitment to yourself and your goals. The key to building discipline is making small, intentional decisions that compound over time. These choices don't have to be monumental. It's the little things you do consistently that shape your future. Whether it's waking up early, eating healthy, or sticking to a schedule, these daily practices accumulate and reinforce your commitment to self-discipline. One of the biggest challenges people face is the temptation to indulge in short-term gratification. But self-discipline teaches you to delay that instant pleasure for long-term gain. The ability to resist immediate desires allows you to make decisions based on your long-term vision rather than temporary satisfaction. When you practice discipline, you develop the mental strength to say no to distractions, to push through discomfort, and to stay on track when others might quit. Building self-discipline also involves creating an environment that supports your goals. It's easier to stay disciplined when your surroundings are aligned with your aspirations. Removing temptations, organizing your space, and surrounding yourself with people who encourage your growth can make all the difference. Self-discipline doesn't come from sheer willpower alone. It comes from aligning your actions with your deeper purpose and making choices that support your long-term vision. When you make self-discipline a habit, you unlock your full potential and set the stage for lasting success.